What I teach people is picking specific thought stoppers that actually match their specific situation, right? And so just generally training people to say goose favre, again, using from that example, that
Yeah.
might help some people, but it may actually make some people even more frustrated in the moment, right? Because they can't say the word, right? So myths, I think one of the myths is that the anger iceberg, to me, is a myth. That's that idea that anger is a secondary emotion. Uh, I separate feelings from emotions. For me, thoughts combined with feelings equate to the emotion. I think we need to make it simpler: mad, sad, glad, and afraid. Master the primary feeling states. Then you can move on to emotions, right? But when we hammer emotions and we give people like the emotions feeling wheel, and there's like 200 words on it, and you're trying to help somebody who struggles with anger, who doesn't know who they are and doesn't know what anger is, and you're trying to tell them to pick all these emotional words, again, I've seen that process fall flat and have it actually do more damage than it does good. Um, Myths that um, you know we talked about it, right? I mean, is it when I say that anger can be constructive? Most people aren't aware of that. Most people will automatically equate anger as something that needs to be removed from your human experience, right? And so, um, but there's also an awareness piece, and that I think is super important, especially for men. So when you look at societal conditioning, and especially in the U.S., um, men and boys get conditioned to connect primarily with the feeling state of anger, right? It's
Hmm.
not okay to cry. Don't be sad. You got nothing to, what are you crying about? Um, and so we will condition boys to be cut off from sadness. Um, you don't want to be afraid, right? Because if you're afraid, then you can't be, fully masculine, right? Um, so then we're left with glad and mad, right? But then if we're a little bit rambunctious and obnoxious when we get happy, then we get told to knock it off and quit doing that. So then we get left with
Hmm.
mad or anger as being the primary feeling state that we connect with, right? So then when that person doesn't get the support that they need going through life, and then anger becomes their primary feeling state that they connect the most with because they've learned to disconnect from the other ones, and then something happens. There's an incident, fight at school, whatever it is, then they get referred to anger control or anger management, where the primary message is don't be angry. Don't be so
Yeah.
don't be so angry, right? Which what you're functionally telling, I'm focusing on men because I think women have a different construction around anger. What you're functionally telling a male is not only is anger not okay, but you're conditioned to disconnect from the other feeling states, right? And so
Yeah.
I want, if there's one thing that people are hearing this to take away above anything else, is to understand that anger is a normal, natural feeling state. The problem comes in is that when we have hurtful or less than effective ways to respond and express our anger, right? And anybody can improve around that.